So the Royal High School is 890 years old this year, and we have been around through many, many tragedies across the years, one of the worst being the Holocaust. And what is absolutely important for our school community is that we learn from the lessons from our times, and that sense of the weight of history is something that Royal High pupils today will feel in their classes, and they'll feel as being part of our community. So our school has been involved in Holocaust education for over 15 years, initially starting within history and religious and moral education, where they explored the philosophical lessons from Auschwitz. It's very important that we continue that, and when Lessons from Auschwitz project came on board, our school were one of the first to sign up. And this enabled us to widen the perspective and really make it part of the fabric of what we do in our school. And it's formed part of our visions and values, which have recently been redone. For young people today, equalities is a huge issue. They bring us back to it all the time. And that the Vision Schools project has allowed us to really look hard at that and how we take it forward. We belong here is one of our mottos, and I think really the Lessons from Auschwitz, the Vision Schools programme, being able to really learn from lessons is part of We Belong Here.
Holocaust education has had a huge impact in subjects like history, RMPS and more latterly modern studies, where we have been able to give it particular contemporary relevance. But I think more importantly, how Holocaust education has had an impact on our school community is very important, especially amongst LGBTQ pupils, where in Royal High they feel welcomed, accepted, and we encourage our pupils to challenge inequality wherever they see it. Further, I think because we're a non-denominational school, we embrace pupils from all cultural backgrounds and religious backgrounds. We definitely promote that culture of we belong here and encourage our pupils to challenge inequality if they see it. We plan to promote Holocaust education in the school by working closely with our equalities group, but also setting up our own Holocaust education committee, where staff and pupils are both invited to participate, looking towards hosting an event for Holocaust Memorial Day, but also working within our community to see if we can promote the lessons from the Holocaust. Further, we hope to create a history course which looks at the history of the Holocaust in conjunction with the RMPS course. And lastly, our modern studies course is going to look at the contemporary relevance of the Holocaust, where we look at modern day issues such as the plight of refugees.
As head teacher here in St Columba's High School, it is my great privilege to continue to support John as the lead teacher in terms of Holocaust education, but the wider team of staff and the young people who have committed year on year to developing our approaches to Holocaust education. It is an absolute essential dimension to the values within our Catholic school that we explore some of the issues that have emerged from the learning for our young people in terms of Holocaust education and how we use that learning to inform our values and our views around today's society.
Holocaust education's been embedded in our school for almost over a decade, and it's been interdepartmental work. We've been working with the art department, for instance, RE, English and modern languages, and other departments, history of course, and it's to embed the theme of Holocaust education so they're learning their knowledge and understanding, their faith aspects as well. We're using materials from all departments so it's encourage and it's a challenge, and it emphasise the knowledge and understanding that shapes our future understanding, modern themes such as anti-racism and also prejudice, how we can see it from our society at this time. So we use our historical knowledge from the past, influences their learning opportunities also for the pupils and how they direct their lives as well and what it means to them. And at each stage it's organised through the departments and the IDL theme, interdisciplinary learning, and that's really been a large impact in the school. And as an RE teacher, I think it's very important. We teach in S1 the theme of Judaism so that people know that the people who are persecuted in the Holocaust were people with an identity, a faith, a future and aspirations, and that was taken away from them. And also as a Catholic school as well, how can we use Holocaust education as a voice for everything we teach about social values? Listen to the gospel passages. How do we react in our own lives? What is social justice? Our next plans is to use our knowledge and understanding as a foundation, have more interdepartmental work with the art department, modern languages and RE, and have more work with the primaries and be co-educators. And our young people are Anne Frank ambassadors. They'll visit the primary schools. We're going to host an evening for parents as well, and establish further links with other organisations and building our successes and our learning opportunities at the moment.
Some of our young people have had really valuable opportunities to engage with lessons from Auschwitz, and furthermore, delighted that our young people have been able to embrace the opportunities to become involved in the Diocesan of Paisley trip to Poland. And throughout all of that, again, I must congratulate not only our young people but the staff who support them and provide such valuable opportunities that shape them not into what they become but who they become.
Our school's been engaged in Holocaust education for a number of years. It's really important for our school. As a Jewish school, it's part of not only our education programme but many of our children's heritage. It's something that's important within our wider school community and allows us to engage with the community through this learning. We work very much in partnership with the wider community, including the UGIA, with all of our primary 6 and 7 pupils. We focus on these stages because the children are engaging in other learning that's relevant to the Holocaust education at this time, but they're also at an age where they have a deeper understanding of the importance of Holocaust education and are able to understand some of the more complex emotional issues surrounding it.
As a senior leadership team in the school, we recognise the importance of Holocaust education, and we've specifically planned for experiences for our children across the year. Examples of these are inviting the Gathering of Voices exhibition into the school, and we have shared this with other cluster schools so that primary 7 and primary 6 children have been able to experience those as well. We plan for the children to have a trip to Amsterdam, which is a Jewish heritage trip, and during the trip the children visit several key locations like the Anne Frank House, the Holocaust Memorial Museum, the Portuguese Synagogue, and the children work throughout the year to study specific areas of the curriculum related to this in order to prepare the children for this. In terms of the impact on the children, I've been fortunate enough to attend the Amsterdam trip for I think 6 years now, and taking a group of children, primarily Jewish children, around the Anne Frank House is an incredibly powerful experience. Lots of the children connect with this on a high emotional level. Similar experiences when we visit the Holocaust Memorial Museum as well, that the children really interact with that, and from the educational experiences they've had throughout the year, you can see that there is an impact on the children as learners and also an impact on their Jewish identity. As part of the self-evaluation process in looking at this award, we recognised that CPD for teachers was something that we need to work on moving forward. So we have planned experiences across the year to provide teachers with educational experiences from the Holocaust Memorial Trust and from the Anne Frank Trust, so that we can further their own experiences in order to educate the children. So in working towards the Vision School Scotland Award, it really engaged our thinking in more planned experiences for children. Quite often some of the experiences that we've had have just happened, things like the Yom HaShoah work that we do. We've always done that every year, and it's been about trying to make more links with the Curriculum for Excellence so that we can have more planned experiences in line with those.
It also helped us look at the sustainability of that. Could we be a bit better at planning those coherent, progressive programmes for children so that each year we're building on their learning and extending it in a more planned way?
Our school's been involved in Holocaust education for a long time now, probably the best part of 10 years. Started off with a member of the Social Subjects Department going on a trip to Auschwitz and taking 2 senior pupils. It's developed into an annual event now and a very strong feature of our school calendar, and it's also led to other opportunities for pupils to get involved in Holocaust memorial events, both in Glasgow and also further afield and travelling to other parts of the world as well.
It's mostly been taught within the Social Subjects Department, but we're trying to take it further with ideal projects that would incorporate some of the English curriculum, the RE and the expressive arts. This will enable my colleagues to take on more leadership role in that aspect as well, and it would have a stronger impact on the pupils. The impact on the pupils first and foremost has been great. By getting ourselves involved in the Anne Frank Trust or the Lesson from Auschwitz project, the pupils have been given opportunities to take on a leadership role, and it's really empowered them to shape the younger generations, where they want to enable them through their own experiences to have courage to stand up against things they perceive as wrong, become more passionate about the topic of Holocaust education. So it's really good to see that in the pupils. Another area I'm really proud of is our work with the Anne Frank Trust. We have twice hosted the Anne Frank exhibit that tours Scotland, and this has enabled us to offer 18 pupils the opportunity to become guides or ambassadors. They have been really well engaged in the project that we offered. They gave up their time to offer tours to primary school pupils, to their peers, to the staff in their school, as well as in the evenings they gave tours to the parent council and to their own parents. So I was immensely proud of the work that they did.
Using the experience in that way and sharing the experience across our learning community and with partners, it's a great fit with our school motto, which is Alias Adjuva. It means help others. And so all of the learning experiences from the Holocaust education programme and sharing that is a great way of our pupils learning to live out that motto as well, understanding the role they have in helping people right beside them or elsewhere in the city or further afield as well.
Since achieving level 1 of the Vision Skills Award, our school has maintained our relationship with Low Moss Prison. We've done that by offering pupils opportunities for leadership, where they planned and delivered a session for prison learners, where they worked collaboratively with them to share their learning of the Holocaust, which was an excellent form of community engagement for both our learners and the prison learners. Secondly, we hosted a S2 interdisciplinary learning event in January. That was led primarily by pupils. We actually had 2 pupils who travelled down to England to take part in a Holocaust education workshop, and when they returned they shared their learning with other pupils, and we used their expertise with staff from other subjects and history teachers to plan and deliver a second year event where they learned different lessons from the Holocaust. That was a really rich experience for pupils, and it prepared them well for starting their study of the Holocaust. Finally, we've continued with our 3rd annual visit to Poland, where we had 44 pupils attend this year, and they visited sites like Auschwitz-Birkenau and met with a Holocaust survivor. In advance of the visit, we had a parents' information evening where we stressed the importance of Holocaust education and explained to the parents exactly what pupils would be doing on the trip. We plan to sustain our partnership with Low Moss Prison. This year, because we had 44 pupils attending the Poland trip, this could mean multiple visits to the prison, and we also maybe even will include another prison within that as well to make it a more enriching experience for pupils. Secondly, we plan to improve our IDL event for second years. We're going to use the feedback that we got from pupils last year to develop that further and hopefully get even more subjects involved in it. We are also going to deliver CPD for staff. So in the next few weeks, I'm going to be doing a CPD session for probationer teachers and student teachers to see how they can include Holocaust lessons within their own subjects. And finally, we have an S5 leadership class who are focusing on lessons from the Holocaust, and we're really excited to see where that takes them this year.
For me, Poland was a really eye-opening experience, as learning about it in class is completely different from seeing it in real life. We got to visit Miroslava, who was a young girl during the Holocaust, and she survived it Her family took in the Jew Miri, who was a young girl as well, and risked their lives hiding her to save her from the concentration camps, and they're still friends to this day.
I really enjoyed the S2 IDL Holocaust event because it was really interactive, but at the same time you learnt so much. It was all about the power of words, and we got shown quotes from people that were in the Holocaust, like Anne Frank. And then we got into groups and got given a card about someone that was involved in the Holocaust, and we had to decide if that person was a perpetrator, collaborator, resistor or rescuer, or a bystander. And then we went up to art and we got given a picture of another people, and we had to make it look like they were involved in the Holocaust. And this made us realise how horrifically people were treated. And then we all got together again and we discussed the ways in which BISHOPBRIGGS Academy remembers and shares the lessons of the Holocaust, like prison visits, IDL events, research projects.
I don't think there's any doubt that our involvement with Vision School Scotland has had a major impact in our school in terms of raising awareness of the importance of teaching Holocaust education. In the first instance, Gillian McGee and Sarah McLaren, through their direct involvement with Vision School Scotland, they presented their vision to our senior management team, and as a direct consequence of that, we freed up quite a considerable amount of time for Gillian and Sarah to attend CPD, but also for our young people to become involved in a very successful IDL event for our S2 pupils. I think the byproduct of all of this, I think there was some quite obvious impact, but I think one of the most powerful things is that teachers across the school, not just within the social subjects or history department, teachers across the school recognise the importance of relating their curriculum to the Holocaust.